Good day, Your Grace, and well met. Might I inquire whether Your Grace has made a decision regarding whether to give Thomas Blagg the bishopric of Salisbury?
Ah, yes, Dean Blagg. I had my chaplain look into what you told me regarding my dean's stewardship of Rochester Cathedral. Methinks you said he was a skilled and competent manager. Did you not? Well, it seems that could not be further from the truth. For not only has Dean Blagg been embezzling coin from the cathedral's accounts, many items of furniture have gone missing.
Oh, indeed?
Of course, I will make nothing of it, as I wish to avoid the scandal. I merely told Dean Blagg that I could not offer him the bishopric due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Of course. And what problem would Your Grace wish me to address this day?
Oh, 'tis a problem with my other deans. With each passing day there seems to be a new dean at the palace gates, come to petition me for this wretched bishopric of Salisbury. Presently, 'tis Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh. Since he returned from Ireland, he talks of nothing else.
How tiresome for Your Grace.
Indeed. I have told Owen that I am giving his request careful consideration, but in my experience, this only delays a dean for so long. I do have to grant the occasional bishopric, or else my deans become restless.
Doubtless, Your Grace.
But after what I learned about Dean Blagg, I must take care to exercise caution. Hence, I would have you tell me anything you know, that is, anything the stars reveal, about Owen Wood, that would render him unsuitable to perform the role of bishop.
Then let us ask the stars. Is there any reason why the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, should not grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury? I must advise against granting Owen Wood the bishopric, for the stars reveal that he has sinned most grievously.
Ah, verily? Grievously, you say?
I am afeard Dean Wood did commit the sin of adultery.
Ah, nothing else?
'Twas more than once, Your Grace.
Doubtless, doubtless. While I appreciate your most excellent discernment of this information from the stars, I must own that Dean Wood's extra-clerical activities are already well known to me. Why, even my own wife has had a tumble with the man.
Your Grace, I am sorry.
Hold, Sarah. In truth, 'tis of no consequence to me. What occurs in Lambeth Palace bides in Lambeth Palace, as we like to say. But you are right to remind me of Dean Wood's indiscretions. For mayhap it be not wise to elevate Owen to such a public position as bishop. I do have the reputation of the church to consider.
Indeed, Your Grace.
I will tell Owen that while I had every intention of granting him the bishopric, my hands are now tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Very wise, Your Grace. And one more matter, if I may. Has Your Grace yet had the opportunity to consider the granting of my medical license?
Ah, yes, that. Once my chaplain has finished looking into the matter, I shall be giving it careful consideration. Good day.
Since Blagg left Alice in the lurch, for solution she does search. 'Tis true she's the bedded half the church, but Blagg left Alice in the lurch.
Good day, mistress. What brings you?
I am come about my lover who is lately returned from Ireland.
Ah, yea, and your current lover is, as I recall... Ah, yes, your lover at present is Owen Wood, the Reverend Dean of Armagh, is it not?
Aye.
And according to my notes, you were afeard he might die in battle. And yet you do not appear to be much pleased he's returned alive. Whatever is the matter, madam?
It is being said around the diocese that my lover, Owen Wood, is romantically entangled with 2 other women.
And who might these 2 other women be? Might one of them be his wife, or...?
Of course not. Do not jape with me, Forman. I did hear that one of the ladies Owen is seeing is Mistress Ways, while the other is a certain Anne Hayborn, with whom I am not yet acquainted. I do hear she is a very young and comely maiden, though mayhap a maiden no longer. I prithee, scribble one of those doodles of yours and tell me if this be true.
Madam, if you will but afford me some silence and calm, I will compose one of my doodles, as you so call my mathematically precise astronomical charts, and endeavour to answer your question. To wit, is Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, wooing other women? I think I may allay your fears, madam. Owen Wood's military experiences in Ireland have given him time to reflect, and God has lately granted him the gift of maturity. He is not having intimate relations with those women, Mistress Ways and Anne Hayborn, I think you said they were. Moreover, one extramarital affair is all he can afford on a dean's income.
Then Owen Wood has been true to me. On my honour, that is well to hear. Verily, it does warrant celebration. Dr. Forman, would you care to join me in celebrating?
You wish me to accompany you to the Quiet Bear, or...? Ah...
Archbishop, priest, gift.
Ye priests who
have
priests,
castle and Archbishop with gift.
God give you good evening, your grace. I trust you were pleased with the previous counsel I gave you? The advice I gave against granting Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury.
Ah, yes, your counsel did indeed prove sound, for Dean Wood is now cods deep in scandal. The parish council has received numerous paternity suits, and 'tis said that scores of defiled wenches bethrong the gates of his deanery each morning, clutching suckling babes and demanding recourse. As for young Anne Hayborn, she has had her reputation ruined, and Dean Ways is barely speaking to his wife anymore.
On my word, how disgraceful.
Aye, indeed. If only Owen had the sense to exercise more discretion.
Yes, indeed, your grace.
The Bishop of London, for instance, manages his affairs very quietly. I might have been able to look the other way, but in this instance I could not let Owen's indiscretions pass. For a wretched local woman by the name of Mary Payne got wind of the scandal and stirred up a public fuss about it. Oh, the devil take the woman and her bacon-faced husband.
If I might venture an opinion, Your Grace, mayhap if we were to pay no heed to Mary Payne and her ilk, they would eventually tire of their animus and leave us all be. But is it upon such problems you come this day, or upon some other matter?
I am come about my health. I believe I do ail of something.
Then pray, describe your complaints to me, Your Grace.
Well, I am afflicted with pain in my back, and at times I find myself hard of breathing. Indeed, I feel I may have phlegm in my chest, and I do bear these odd-looking spots upon my body that will not mend.
If you will permit me to loosen your robes to examine you. Oh, I see. Methinks I have a notion of what ails you. Let me confirm it with a reading of the stars. What troubles Archbishop Whitgift? Your Grace, I know not how to put this delicately. You have the French pox. I am not sure how this is possible, as you're a man of the cloth. Indeed, mayhap I check the stars again.
No need. I did suspect as much.
Verily? How astute of you. The French pox can oft be difficult to cure, but in your case it is not far advanced. This ointment of boar grease and mercury is to be applied to your entire body. It must be rubbed in vigorously to ensure the mercury is well absorbed into the skin. You may then expect to see the sores on your body start to heal within a matter of days.
I see. And, I imagine your manservant William will be giving me this treatment?
No, Your Grace. The grease is to be taken home with you and applied each night before bed for 9 days. Mayhap your chaplain could apply it to Your Grace's body.
Ah, yes, a fine idea. I thank you for this treatment, sir. Fare you well, Dr. Forman.
Before you leave, Your Grace, might I inquire again as to the possibility of you granting me a medical license? Your Grace did mention you would give it careful consideration.
Ah, yes, indeed I did I not? Have no fear, Dr. Forman. My chaplain is looking into it. Good day.
Here comes Lord Devereux, ready to fight. Wild-eyed and restless, he's been up all night. He may not know much, but he knows that he's right. Never
Give ye good morrow, my lord. I trust your lordship is well this day.
Well? God's body! Am I likely to be well? I have been languishing under lock and key while all England goes to ruin.
Yes, I did hear something of your arrest. I take it your encounter with the Queen did not go as well as planned.
Nay, 'twas a disaster. I took the precaution of seeking an audience with Her Majesty just after dawn, to be sure I would find her alone. But when I entered her bedchamber, she let out such a blood-curdling scream it alerted the palace guards, who ran into the room and arrested me.
But you were imprisoned in your York House residence, were you not? The fact that you were placed under house arrest and not imprisoned in the Tower surely speaks to the Queen's fondness for you. I trust your time in confinement was not uncomfortable, at least.
Well, yes, my time away from the world and its trifling concerns did, in truth, prove useful. It afforded me time to reflect on larger questions, to take stock of my life and put recent events in perspective.
Ah, I see. And what resolution did this quiet period of sober reflection bring you? A closer relationship with God? Or perchance you are resolved to spend more time with your family?
What? Nay, I said my mind was turned to larger questions. To wit, am I destined for greater things? Am I chosen by God to rule a kingdom? For I must needs act. The realm is under threat from within. For why was I verily imprisoned? Was it merely to punish me for some trifling mistakes I made in Ireland? Nay, 'twas to separate me from the Queen.
Well, I imagine after discovering you in Her Majesty's bedchamber...
Do you not yet see? The Privy Council means to keep me away from Whitehall, lest I see how they have contrived to control and manipulate the Queen since I left for Ireland.
My lord! Are you saying the Queen is weak and no longer in control of her reign?
Aye, indeed. Something must be done about it. Well, man, do not just stand there.
Yes, of course, my lord. Let us see whether the stars may give you your answer. Is Robert Lord Devereux, Earl of Essex, destined to, rule England? My lord, I must urge you to temper your ambitions. The stars warn that if your lordship keeps to your current course, it will lead to death.
Whose death, though? You mean my death? God's underlumps!
And England may not be in so much danger as you imagine. The stars suggest that King James of Scotland will succeed to the English throne when Queen Elizabeth dies. He is, after all, her nearest royal relative.
James Stuart, eh? During my imprisonment, I wrote to him to request his aid, but I never received a reply. Doubtless he is in league with the Privy Council. Nay, verily, a pox on the Scottish king and his pretensions to the throne. He would bring his full coterie of kilted savages down and install them in Whitehall Palace, where he would doubtless have us all eating porridge for supper.
I do hear that porridge is a healthsome...
I appreciate your concern for my own safety, sirrah, but my duty lies with the realm and the safety of its people. If I must die, let it be for the sake of England, for God, Queen, and country.
Almighty God, redeem thy servant Sabbath's track for thy eternal grace and mercy. Is not shed by his wife.
Good day, Dean Blagg. How now, good sir? I see you do ail of something.
I do ail of something, Forman. Forsooth, I fear I am very ill indeed, for I tremble day and night with fever, and my face does itch and prick with pain.
Verily, you do exhibit upon your nose and cheeks a rash of a most remarkable hue.
Before you do this reading for me, Forman, I must have your word that you will not speak of this to my wife, Alice. In truth, I have had her believe that I was set upon by an angry swarm of wasps that have lately been nesting in the north transept of the cathedral.
I do understand. A kind husband would naturally wish to shield his wife from any undue distress.
Ah, yea, that of course. And there be also the small matter of the promise I did make to restore the Blagg family fortune before I died, and thus not leave my wife and children to live in penury when I am gone. If Mistress Blagg were to think that I am gravely ill, it would provoke some awkwardness between us that I would rather wish to avoid.
Ah, I take it then that your finances are also in poor health.
Forsooth they are. And had you warned me that the archbishop would never grant me the bishopric of Salisbury, perchance I may have acted sooner to recover them.
I see. Well, as to your wife, Alice, be not afeard, sir. We doctors take querent confidentiality most seriously. As Hippocrates did say, testa Apollinum medicum secreta. Among other things. Now, mayhap we proceed to consult the stars on the matter of your condition. With what disease is my querent Thomas Blagg troubled, and how may he be cured? It would seem you are troubled with a severe disease of the skin known as erysipelas. It is quite serious, though you may find some temporary relief from the pain and fever by vigorously purging from your fundament. To induce such a thing, I do advise the consumption of a considerable quantity of prunes, or mayhap rhubarb. Of course, it does depend on the season.
Erysipelas? Prunes? O merciful Lord, if it be thy will that I should die, and if thou hast writ these mortal signs upon the stars, I beseech thee, have thy servant Simon Forman speak the truth.
Prithee, sir, I had not finished. Oh, my dear friend, I will not lie to you. Your condition is quite advanced. In truth, I fear you must prepare for the worst. If you will not share this grave news with Mistress Blagg, perchance you might speak to her from the safety of, from beyond the grave? That is to say, Write her a letter that may be read to her after you're gone. Your loving words, though thus delayed, may provide her comfort in her time of grief and destitution.
God bless you for your candour, sir, as well your wisdom and friendship these last years. I will now go and pray upon what you have told me.
An explorer's wife cannot share his life. She is left alone, she is left alone. Whilst he is at sea, in a wave so she good at home.
Good day, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day? You seem a little out of breath.
Aye, 'tis but my bodice. My maidservant did lace it far too tightly. Methinks she is a trifle vexed with me. Indeed, the atmosphere in the Fortescue household is exceeding ill at present.
Verily? And why is that?
Someone has been stealing food from the larder in the night. This morning, 3 whole swan pies were missing. Each member of the Fortescue household suspects another.
And whom do you think is the author of these thefts, madam?
Well, I suspect my son Harold, as his fondness for pie is well known. But Harry denies it and has accused our maidservant Gladys. And 'tis true that Gladys has become suspiciously wide about the girth of late. And as for Gladys, well, she is convinced the culprit is our African parrot, Sir Muncelot Grey. But Sir Muncelot has denied the accusation and blames my monkey.
Ah, and who does your monkey blame?
How now, Dr. Forman? Be not absurd. Monkeys cannot speak.
Ah, yes. Then 'tis fortunate that God can. Speak to us, that is, by way of the stars. Who in the Fortescue household has been sneaking into the larder at night to steal pies? Madam, you may eliminate your son from your inquiries, for according to the stars, you have educated him well, and he knows not to steal pies.
Harry is innocent, is he? Then who has been eating our pies?
I am afeard it is the very last individual you would suspect. An individual who is in this very room with us now.
How now, Dr. Forman? Surely you would not accuse me?
Oh, nay, not you, madam. 'Tis your monkey. What was his name again?
You mean to say Sir Nanahad has been stealing our pies? Oh, my days! What a naughty monkey!
Quite. He is most naughty indeed, 'twould seem.
I must at once to home go and apologise to Sir Muncelot. I never should have doubted him. God give you good even, Dr. Forman. You have been a bad boy, have you not, Sir Nanahad? Who's a naughty monkey? Yes, you! You're the naughty monkey! Yes, you're the naughty monkey!
Good even, Mistress Fortescue.
Humphrey Bell to play a leading Jane. You must pay the price of looking thin and nice. Drink over your fears, tis all your guilt, and shame is you be judged, and we accord you blame.
Good even, Mr. Bell. What brings you so late this evening, young sir? Have you come from the playhouse?
Yea, I'm come from playing a duchess in a special performance of Richard II. You know, that play that makes the Queen look bad.
So, Mr. Shakespeare decided to revive his play, did he? I see.
I need you to tell me what to do about my pay. Our seamstress told me she heard Mistress Burbage discoursing how John Crisp is getting paid a full shilling for each performance.
And you feel this is unfair, I take it? I gather Mr. Crisp's pay is greater than yours.
Aye, sir. 'Tis full twice as much coin as they pay me. What I get is barely enough to cover my rent. And my parts are well bigger than his, innit?
And you can fathom no reason for this disparity in pay? He is more experienced, perchance.
What? I've been on the stage since I was a boy, and John's been playing for less than a year. Nay, sir. Mr. Burbage and them other company sharers are paying me less on account of how I'm doing the lady parts.
You mean to say you are being paid less simply because you perform lady roles?
Indeed. John only gets them main parts because he's big and tall, but I'm well better than he is. Critics call my Ophelia the most tantalisingly nubile and tragical performance since Henry Condell's Juliet.
Ah, yes. Having seen Hamlet, I would have to agree with them there. I must own that I, too, found your Ophelia most comely and alluring. Now, let's see what the stars advise. What can be done about you being paid less than players of masculine roles? According to the stars, your employers, the Lord Chamberlain's men, are very wise businessmen.
How do you reckon that? On account of them contriving to pay me less than I deserve?
Precisely so, Mr. Bell. And being so wise, they doubtless deter their hired men from discoursing upon the coin they receive for their labour, perchance to the extent where the men harbour such feelings of shame and suspicion about it, they would more readily show each other their privy parts before they would show their pay.
Aye, 'tis true enough. We oft pull our yardles out when we're jesting about and that. But as for a man's pay, forsooth, 'tis considered most private.
Well, such prudery must end if you and your fellow players are to advance your interests, Mr. Bell. Indeed, methinks that if you were all to begin freely discoursing upon these matters, you will find you are not the only player being paid unjustly. If you do decide to demand more coin from your employers, I advise you to unify with the other hired men and speak as one voice.
Zah! We shall unify and demand them company sharers pay us equal coin for equal playing.
Hear ye, hear ye! Earl of Essex, foiled in Queen, kidnap, attempt, shocker! Biggest treason fail since Babington plot! Hear ye!
Alice Black, she is a wife. 'Tis one way to live a life, oft with misfortune and with strife, especially if you be Black's wife.
Good day, Mistress Blagg. Pray tell, how did things fare with your gentleman friend, Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh?
Alas, 'tis all over betwixt me and Dean Wood. I did ask him for a small loan, and he was most insulting about it. We have not spoken since. And I think I know why his ardour for me has cooled, for I did lately learn that he has been bedding half the women in the diocese.
Ah, yes. I too did lately hear of this.
So your stars were very wrong to tell me I had nothing to fear from other women vying for Owen Wood's affections. But this day I am come about my husband. Methinks he is ill, yet he pretends he is not.
Ah, pray describe his symptoms to me.
Well, yesterday I did remark that something was amiss when Molly McDoon and I returned from the playhouse. Well, there was a special performance of Richard II at the Globe. Know you of it? Oh, 'tis the play that makes the Queen look bad.
Aye, I know of it.
When I came in the door, there was an awful racket coming from our upstairs rooms. I went to see what the matter was and found my husband tucked up abed, moaning and wailing, and with a monstrous rash all over his face. He told me some nonsense about having been stung by wasps, and that he is merely tired. But I do not believe him.
I see.
I bid you, Forman, tell me true, for I grow ill with worry. Is it grave? Blagg had better not think of dying on me afore he has paid his debts.
Ah, for as his widow, by law, you would inherit them, would you not? But mayhap there is little to worry about. Let us consult the stars and see. What ails Thomas Blagg, the Dean of Rochester? Alas, I am afeard your husband is ill with a disease known as erysipelas. He is in grave danger. Indeed, his case is advanced and beyond treatment. There is nothing to be done now, but prepare yourself for his death, Mistress Blagg. Madam? Alice? Come, Alice, I will find you a chair.
Nay, I must not tarry. I am meeting Mistress McDoon at the Bear for a quiet one. Good day, Forman.
But Alice...
Hear ye, hear ye! Traitor loses head after losing mind. Earl of Essex gets the chop for treason. Hear ye!
If you try to argue with her, you will have no luck. She'll twist and turn your logic till your reason comes unstuck. Chastise Mary who you like, she will not give up. Will not give up.
Well met, Mistress Payne. How fare you this day?
Most well indeed, sir, for I am just come from taking my niece on an outing to Tower Hill. 'Twas to see the execution of the traitor Robert Devereux.
Ah, yes, Lord Devereux. What a tragic end to a promising career.
And such a lovely beheading they gave us. My niece and I very much enjoy the hangings at Tyburn, but a beheading is so much more elegant, is it not? Verily, 'tis a better class of execution, I find, and the royal executioner did go down on Devereux with such skill. A single stroke was all it took to give us the traitor's head.
Aye, 'tis true the royal executioner gives excellent...
But I have no time to tarry here and gossip with you, Dr. Forman. I am come on a matter of great concern, and I bid you do my reading with greater care this time, for last time you did alarm me quite unnecessarily with your tale of war in Texas, and whilst the Queen does have the appearance of being naught but a painted corpse, propped up on a throne using artfully placed cushions, she is, in lore at least, still alive. Praised be.
Ah, indeed, praised be. And what is this new matter that concerns you?
'Tis that England is filling up with foreigners. Indeed, 'tis been going on for so many years now that in London 'tis rare to hear anyone discoursing in the English tongue any more. The city is crawling with continentals.
Ah, then I take it you do not enjoy your visit to the city of London.
Oh, nay, I have never been to London. For as I did just say, 'tis crawling with continentals, and Lambeth will soon suffer the same fate if we do not act. Why, only the other day I spied a continental on the high street, a monstrous ogre of a man he was, and as for his face, his eyelashes were so fair he had the appearance of having none at all.
Ah, yes, the Netherlanders. 'Tis true the people of the Netherlands can be fair of hair and tall of stature.
And 'tis surely no coincidence that Lambeth has suffered an increase in crime of late. We do not feel safe, Dr. Forman. Every night we ladies of Fore Street do shiver in our beds at the thought of these frighteningly large men.
I do not doubt it, madam. Now, let us see whether the stars might allay or confirm your fears. Should the residents of Lambeth be concerned about an influx of continentals? The stars indicate your concerns are justified, madam. As you know, many of these continentals are refugees fleeing Catholic violence. But while the poor souls are to be pitied, the stars remind us that our duty lies at home.
Aye, forsooth, sir, for how are we expected to solve all the problems of the world? England must come first.
Indeed it must. And although most of these continentals are doubtless very fine people...
Aye, doubtless.
There are some desperate criminal elements among them. Moreover, the introduction of continentals with their unusual customs and traditions into a closely bound community such as Lambeth could prove most disruptive. Such differences may provoke tensions that lead to violence.
Indeed, they may. I will have my husband ride to Lambeth Palace and demand that the Archbishop do something to protect the folk of Lambeth afore it is too late. Blessed day, Dr. Forman.
Hear ye, hear ye! Dean of Rochester Cathedral dies. New Dean pledges to refurnish empty cathedral. Hear ye!
Humphrey man, at ease is our reward, for it is not enough to be my fans alone. For you we sigh, we true, and soon. when we see you